or should we say reaction. So the conversation I've just had with the leader of the main opposition, John Steenhuisen, talking alongside the IFP leader, Mr. Velenkosini Hlabisa. Well, it's evoked some emotions, and Herman Mashaba is the leader of ActionSA. That's the organization he leads, and he says he wants to react to some of what was said. Mr. Mashaba, good morning to you. What is it that you want to add or subtract to the conversations I've just had?
No, thank you very much, Goli and Newzroom Afrika, for always really giving us an opportunity and a right of reply. It's actually very important to really have balanced news in the country. So I think we've got to learn as a country not to really allow dishonesty to really be the order of the day. That is why South Africans are losing hope in politicians, Let me just really give you the background to the collapse of the City of Johannesburg, which we as ActionSA, the facts are there, where we tried everything possible from the time when the speaker was removed, and we had the full 3 months of trying to get the DA to accept forming a majority government so that we can save their own mayor, firstly, and secondly, avoid the ANC and EFF take over the City of Johannesburg. I can tell you for 3 months until the last week, just before the election, where PA was willing to really come back to us, and because they were already offered 2 positions by the ANC, they said, look, Herman, we are happy to really come back on condition that you guys offer us 2 seats. We engaged the ANC. You can ask all the parties, Freedom Front Plus, IFP, ACDP, we all agreed, guys, the only way we can get them, because we've got nothing else, is either we offer PA 2 seats or we lose everything.
Yeah.
And up to the last minute, ActionSA then said, we will offer you our 2 seats, because we are either going to end up with the ANC, EFF government, or we must accept coalitions. And that's what we did. DA people were part of the meeting where when we offered them our 2 positions. We then requested a meeting with PA. We offered the 2 ActionSA positions to PA, which PA accepted.
What positions were those, Mr. Malema? What positions were being offered to the Patriotic Alliance?
Transport and economic development.
And do you feel that that was a good judgment call to allocate these 2 portfolios to the Patriotic Alliance? Or perhaps let me ask a much more finer question. What was the reluctance on the part of the DA to agree to such?
Well, something honestly which would not really make sense to someone who's not even gone to school, because we needed, it is either we gave the 2 seats to PA or allowed the ANC to take the city back. I mean, those were the 2 options. That is why for us as ActionSA, we said, instead of losing the municipality to go back to the ANC and see this corrupt government which was now formed on Friday, we said, let's rather have the PA, we will manage them from within. And I think what's important Goli, to bring to the attention of your listeners, DA is the party that brought PA to us in January 2022 without talking to us. But we expressed our concerns. We've got it in writing about PA. But we recognize the fact that if we don't accept the PA, we will never have a majority government. We accepted it in good faith. So we don't understand now, all of a sudden, DA at the last minute, when we agreed we were going to have a press conference on Friday, Thursday afternoon, they sent us a long letter insulting PA that they're crooks, they cannot be trusted, they cannot give them 2 portfolios. Portfolios coming from ActionSA.
Let me understand this, Mr. Mashaba.
Insulting.
Let me understand this, Mr. Mashaba, because the DA's defense, or what they are arguing, is that they were not going to be bullied with a gun to their heads. That's what John has just said moments ago. And that perhaps, secondly, they are not going to agree to extortion. So let me contextualize that element. And I'm not certain whether he was talking this in the same sentence as the Patriotic Alliance, because Julius Malema says on Sunday that the Patriotic Alliance are people who are mainly concerned with their stomachs. So, do you blame the DA for refusing to give these two portfolios to the Patriotic Alliance? I take on board what you're saying, that it was the DA that brought the Patriotic Alliance to the coalition talks in the first place.
Okay, Toli, let me give you a background because you know when you lie as a human being, you have to keep on remembering. So that's your problem, and let me tell you why. After the 2021 local government elections, I, Herman Mashaba, at the IEC center, made an offer to the DA to come and talk to us. You know what happened? The DA only spoke to us a week before the inaugural council meeting. By that time, they'd already concluded discussions with the PA and all the other parties, invited us to a meeting here in Sandton. Us as ActionSA, with 44 seats, the third biggest party in the city of Johannesburg. And at that meeting, something that we found us, and I expressed that in that meeting, where Gayton McKenzie never did played games with us, said to us, with all the political parties, he says, guys, you must understand, we are not here for anything, we are here for power and money. So if you are not prepared to give us power and money, we are not interested. These are people brought to us by the DA. And I expressed my concerns in that particular meeting. John Steenhuisen was in that meeting. Helen Zeller was in that meeting. And a week later, PA went with the ANC. Remember when we voted DA into office without their knowledge? PA at the time was already with the ANC.
Yeah.
But obviously, after voting the DA into office, the DA, without talking to us, went and spoke to the PA so that we get majority, which is something that made sense. We said, but the DA, these are the very same people who, in the meeting that you brought them to us, they made it clear to us that they are there for the power and money. And a week later, they deserted us. But you are now bringing them back to us. Has there anything changed? And DA said, guys, if you don't take this guys on, we don't have majority. And we looked at it soberly. Right. And that was a fact. That if we don't bring APA with us, we are not going to have majority. So we will be at the whim of ANC and EFF. We accepted that.
All right.
And now we went through. Now, I don't understand now what has now changed. And what is actually quite contradictory, and that's something that doesn't make sense. That the DA is willing to give a PA a bigger portfolio, which is transport, with over 4 billion rands of budget. They are now saying, no, we can't give them economic development. A budget of 800 million. So, I mean, that's something that doesn't really make sense. And the portfolio comes from ActionSA that is saying, guys, we've got two options. It's either we bring these guys and manage them, or we lose the municipality. The DA says, no, we'd rather lose the municipality. So they must not really come out to say to South Africans that they don't operate on the basis of anyone putting a gun at their heads. I think it was a question of their plan from day one to give these municipalities to the ANC.
Well, Mr. Mashaba, let's conclude the conversation with this question then. The city of Johannesburg, as we speak, is led by a mayor who comes from Al-Jama, Thapelo Amad. It's not in the hands of the ANC. What should the residents of Johannesburg make of this current arrangement? Because that's what I'll call it. It's an arrangement, given that the ANC is on record as saying this is a transitional mayor. Effectively, the question is the city of Johannesburg in good hands right now?
I think you'll have to be honestly a fool to think that the municipality is under good hands. Under Mayor Ahmed or under ANC, we are in for a really rough time the next few years, and DA is responsible for putting the ANC into power. They did that when I was the mayor of the City of Johannesburg. You remember only the reason why I left 2 years before the time, because the DA, in consultation with the ANC, they had secret meetings facilitated by the IRR to remove me as the mayor of the City of Johannesburg, because they said I'm an EFF mayor because I was taking the residents' money, providing toilets and services in poor communities. And when I learned about the secret meetings, I then said, I'm out of here. And you remember, Cody, they rejected my claim. But I'm sure you've got record of Helen Zille with the SABC interview last year, late last year in December. You see, when you tell a lie, you've got a big problem, because you somewhere along the line you're going to slip, because you can't remember what lie you said the other time. Now, you remember, Toli, you followed this matter yourself. You interviewed me about it. About DA refusing my statement that they were having secret meetings with the ANC to remove me. Now we've got it on record. I'm sure you are aware of the interview with SABC late in December last year, when Mr. Mbejo was interviewing Helen why the DA was losing black leaders. Because she was trying to be clever, telling one leader after the other. When it came to Herman Mashaba, she had forgotten. She says, you know what, Herman Mashaba, this was an EFF mayor. The ANC and us, we were planning a motion of no confidence, and he decided to jump. I'm sure you've got a copy of. I'm sure you've got a copy of that interview. If not, I can send it to you.
Mr.
I
Mashaba,
can send it to you.
Let me thank you very much for your time. Thank you for putting things into perspective. All right, leader of ActionSA, Herman Mashaba, there responding to some of what was said by the leader of the main opposition, Democratic Alliance.